Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal, and this is your latest news video. Let's get to it. Big game tomorrow against FC Porto, first leg of the round of 16 tie. Can we get the job done tomorrow and have an easy second leg, or will we have a very tough game tomorrow and need the second leg to get the job done? Well, at least a couple of players are back for that one, and let's start with the latest news on that one. And this is the latest in terms of the injury update. From the training pictures, Arsenal, Thomas Partey and Fabinho Training have both been training, which is a major boost. Obviously, now for Thomas Partey, I mean, I don't know how to say it. You can't like really put your hopes on it. Even if I see him training, I'm still like, okay, until I see him in a match day squad, because there's a lot of times you've seen Thomas Partey training and then he doesn't appear in the match day squad for a couple of more weeks or a couple of more months. But he is back in training. He is happy. He's smiling. Definitely a boost for us. I did say I'm not going to change my opinion. I did say back in November, December, and even January, keep him for the season, keep him until May. Even if he comes back and plays 5-6 games, those games could really help us. Those performances, if he is available for even a Man City away game or a Champions League game away from home, that will really help us. Even if it means it's only 1 or 2 games, it will be beneficial for us. So he is back. I don't think he's going to start the FC Porto game. I'd be very surprised if he started. Even if Arteta wanted someone to help Declan Rice in midfield, I think it's going to be Jorginho, because Jorginho has really been playing well. In the Champions League, he played really well against the likes of Sevilla. His last start against Liverpool, he was man of the match. So I don't think Partey will be thrown straight in. I think Jorginho will still start if Arteta wants to go with Rice with someone else in midfield. But maybe he can make an appearance, even if it's off the bench. We have another game on the weekend against Newcastle, and then after Newcastle, we're not going to play again until the other Monday. So you're going to have another 8-day break. And then after Sheffield, I think you're going to play Brentford. And then that could be our last game for another 3 weeks or something. So you have a lot of breaks in between. The problem is the international football again. These players will go and play international football and then get hurt again. That really annoys me. But for now, Thomas Partey is back. Let me know. Would you like to see him starting tomorrow, or would you bring him off the bench at halftime for 30 minutes, or just for 15 minutes at the end? Or would you just leave him on the bench and then give him some more time until the Newcastle game or something? But for now, Thomas Partey is back. Major boost for us. That is more numbers in midfield, which can only be beneficial for us. He's been injured for a while. I actually still don't know how we managed to keep him fit the whole of last season. He only missed 2 or 3 games. He was really crucial last season, playing next to Xhaka. We were really lucky that he was able to stay fit last season. And for this season, we are really lucky we signed Declan Rice, because if Declan Rice was not there, I don't know if Jorginho would have been able to survive from August up until now, playing every single game. So Partey coming back is a boost for us. That can even allow Rice in some game to rest, even if it means just 1 game. When you rest him, you can start Partey in midfield. That is absolutely fine. Fabinho Training is also back. It's been a long time since we also saw Fabinho Training back in November. I think his last game he picked up a red card. Was it against Wolves? And then he disappeared from that point on. They said he had undergone a surgery and he'd be out for 2-3 weeks, but that ended up being 2 months. But he is back now, back in time to face his former club, or at least appear in the match day squad to face his former club. He used to be an FC Porto player. Obviously, he's not going to start, but he is a different option. Now, I know there's still many people who are not fans of Fabinho Training. I did say again last year when we were starting the season, I'm going to give him the whole of the second season and see how he does. I'm not going to say sell him last summer, no. Let me see how he does in the second season. Now, unfortunately for him, he had started playing really, really well, coming off the bench against Fulham, I think against, was it Everton or something? He played really well in those games. He came off the bench, scored, assisted, and all that. I think he even scored a penalty in one of the games. He played really well. He played really well off the bench, and sometimes starting when there's a time Odegaard had a slight injury, and there's even a time some people are saying, listen, Fabio is the one who deserves to start as the number 8, ahead of Havertz, ahead of Trossard, ahead of Smith Rowe. He was playing really well to that point. People were asking for him to start games. Unfortunately, he picked up an injury. Never seen him since, and since then, Trossard has his game has totally improved. I know it's as a false 9, but in terms of that midfield, those 2 midfield positions, number 8 and 10, I think Fabio Vieira would not be like in the top 2 or top 3. I think Havertz is ahead of him. I think even Trossard is ahead of him. Odegaard is ahead of him. Maybe they're on the same level with Smith Rowe in terms of the opportunities they can get in those positions. But it's great to have a different option, because sometimes you're having to play Odegaard every single game, even after the game is done. Like, for example, against Burnley, you were 5-0 up and you couldn't take off Odegaard. There was no one really to bring on, because Smith already came in as the number for Havertz, as the number 8. If you have Fabio Vieira, you can also bring him on for Odegaard and have both Fabio Vieira and Smith Rowe playing. So if it's only Smith Rowe is the only one who will come on, and no one else will be coming on for Odegaard. So that's it. But Fabio Vieira is back. I don't think he's going to start. We might see him off the bench, but again, even for that one, I really doubt. But the fixtures that are coming up, Newcastle at home, we'll have Sheffield United away. I'll not be surprised to see the likes of Smith Rowe, Fabio Vieira getting substantial minutes in that game, especially. So it's good to rotate. We don't want to play Odegaard in every single game and play Rice in every single game. So it's to have Partey back. Great to have Fabio Vieira back. Let's see if they're going to make any appearance against FC Porto. But according, if it was you, would you start any of them or bring them off the bench, or would you just keep them on the bench and then bring them later on for the Newcastle game or for the Sheffield game? Let me know. So that's the latest in terms of the players who are back, but there's some other players who are not back, and let's go on with this one. So as you can see at the bottom, Jesus not in training, Zinchenko not in training, Tomiyasu not in training. Now, all of them are a worry. Now for Jesus, I really wanted him to be back for the Champions League, because he's been our best player in the Champions League this season. His performances away to Sevilla, at home to PSV, he was really good in those Champions League games. I really wanted him back. But luckily for us, Trossard has been playing really well, and Havertz can slot in there even if it's just for one game. We're okay with that. So even if Jesus misses a couple of games, we can survive. But I really wanted him back for the Champions League game. Zinchenko as well, luckily for us, Kivio is playing really well. And we thought that Tomiyasu would be back, but somehow Tomiyasu is not there as well. Now, that's the one that I really want to talk about. Jesus, we already know he's going to miss 3-4 games. Sometimes he's going to come back for 1 week to 2 weeks or something, and then get injured for one game. We know about that. Hopefully they do recover soon, him and Zinchenko. But when they come back, they'll find Kivio and Trossard and all those guys have been playing really well. But what about Tomiyasu? What happened to Tomiyasu? Because he was playing in the Asian Cup. He did not have an injury. The others, we know they were injured. The Jesus, Partes, and the Vieiras, we know they were injured. But for Tomiyasu, he was not injured. He played in the Asian Cup. I watched a couple of games. He was playing. I think one of the games he played as a centre back. He was playing. He played like 4 or 5 games, and he was starting and playing 90 minutes. All of a sudden, we hear that he's going to sign a new contract. Absolutely perfect news. Things are looking great. He is going to be back very soon. He's going to help us since Zinchenko is out injured. We've not seen him since. We don't even know if he actually arrived in England or not. Like, he absolutely disappeared. Does anyone know where Tomiyasu is? Well, I do agree with this comment. Now, he says Takehiro Tomiyasu clearly wasn't fit enough when he left for the Asian Cup. He played for Japan and now he remains unavailable for Arsenal. Just seems really poor from the club and the national side for allowing him to play such a massive player when fit. This is according to Tiki Taka Corner. Now, I do agree part of that. Yes, I do agree with part of that. But I don't know. The club, I don't think the club can completely refuse, completely block the player from going to play for his country. I don't think that can happen, especially if he's fit. I don't think we can block him. I think he played in the final game before he went for the Asian Cup. So you cannot block him. He's fit. So Japan know he's fit, unless we'd have completely kept him out for that Liverpool game and completely say he was injured and not play him at all until after the Asian Cup. Because even if he recovered during the Asian Cup, they'd still want him there because he was part of the squad. We couldn't block that. Japan as well. Japan don't really care about what Arsenal do or whatever. They want their best players to play and help them win their competition. For me, I have to look more Tomiyasu. Yes, I know it's a huge privilege to play for your country and all that. I know Partey wants to play for Ghana. I know Saka wants to play for England. I know Tomiyasu wants to play for Japan, especially the big tournaments, the World Cup, the Asian Cup, the AFCON, the Euros. All of them want to play for their country. It's a great honor. I absolutely understand that. But for you to go and play like 4 or 5 games and then come back. If you got injured in the competition, fair enough. But something tells me he went to that competition and he played through an injury and then comes back with that injury, and we are the ones who have to suffer with that. If he got injured in the competition in the quarterfinal, semifinal, that is absolutely fine. If he picked up a different injury, there's nothing you can do about that. We still don't have any answers. I'm just assuming at this point. But if you went there and then you went with like 70% fit and then you played through all those games, 90 minutes, and then you got injured and then you come back to Arsenal and you're out until like April again, that doesn't make sense, man. That doesn't make sense at all. Like, because you didn't end up winning the competition anyway, you know. It's a sad situation with Tomiyasu because I am very happy that he's signing a new contract. As this comment says, he's very, very good. He's such a massive player whenever he's fit. Those games away at Man City, away at Liverpool, you really need him in such kind of games. But at the moment, he's disappeared once again, and you have to think it's an injury because since he came back, it's like 3 games now. It has not even been on the bench. So looks like it's another injury, and looks like he actually got injured in Japan, or he went there with an injury and then it's maybe gotten worse and now he's going to miss a couple of more weeks or maybe a month or 2, which is very, very disruptive for us. But hopefully it's not a serious injury again because we really need him back in the team. Again, luckily for us, Kiwi is playing well. Gabriel, Ben White, all those guys are playing well. Like, we are very, very lucky in terms of that. So it's a tough one. What do you guys make of this Tomiyasu situation? Because he's literally just disappeared. No one knows what injury he has. He's not training, nothing like that. At least for Jesus and Zinchenko, we know that they picked up injuries playing for us. So we know Jesus is going to be picking up at least 3-4 injuries every season. Too many injury-prone players, and that's why I look at someone like Aneta and I'm like, man, we have Tomiyasu, we have Jesus, we have Zinchenko, we have like 4 or 5 players who regularly get injured. So terrible. But most of the players are back in training, which is most of the players were training. I don't like this. Partey is carrying El Neni. Please, El Neni, just get off Partey's back, please. We don't want any more injuries. Please, get out of his back. We don't want any more injuries at all. Last piece of news, away from the injury reports, according to Fabrizio and Marquinhos, Arsenal have included 50% sell-on clause into Marquinhos' loan deal with Fluminense. If Fluminense decide to buy Marquinhos in the summer, Arsenal will receive 50% of the future sale. So we loaned out Marquinhos to Fluminense. If they decide to buy him and then sell him later, we're going to get a 50% cut, which is great. I really doubt he's going to come back and become an Arsenal player. I really, really doubt it. He might be bought by Fluminense, or if they don't buy him, we might send him on another loan deal. But something tells me there's a huge chance they will sign him on a permanent deal. Didn't really work out. I don't think he had the physicality and all for the Premier League. He went to the Championship as well. Didn't really work out for him. And Championship as well, like we try and test you out. Like, if you can play in the Championship, you can potentially play in the Premier League, because those are the teams that are usually coming up and down in the Premier League. So let's see. That's the latest in terms of the injury reports and also the transfer, the Marquinhos loan deal. It will be great for us. I don't know how much they're going to sell him for it, but if he goes and smashes it and they sell him for even 20 million, we are going to get 50% of that. So that is great. Let me know what you make about all that. Big game tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.